The impact of the COVID-19 health crisis has certainly been felt in the commercial real estate or CRE market. The public side of CRE felt the immediate pressure as the broader public market sell-off included REITs, which were down by about 30%, and even some investment-grade rated CMBS tranches were down over 25% at their March lows. On the private side, transaction volumes plummeted, bringing the market to a standstill. COVID impacts were felt across all major property types, but hotel and retail were clearly the most severely impacted, given the mandated shutdowns. PIMCO sees this unfolding in 3 stages. Right now, we're in stage 1, which is characterized by public market dislocations that we've experienced. Capital market pressures have since dissipated to a degree and corrected by about 20% so far in the second quarter, but the market remains fragile. The next wave of public dislocations will be deeper in the CMBS credit curve as ratings downgrades spur potentially a second wave of selling pressures. Stage 2 will be the capital injection and balance sheet cleanup phase, which we expect to occur over the next 6 to 12 months. Here, we expect the more proactive cash-strapped borrowers to seek equity cash flow injections, likely in a preferred equity format, to stave off potential foreclosure. Additionally, loan sales will pick up as leveraged CRE lending platforms look to avoid default-driven capital calls. Finally, starting in about a year and continuing over the next few years, we'll enter stage 3, which is the deeper distress that builds slowly through tenant defaults and downsizing. Here, even the office sector will not be immune as the balance sheet pressures from pre-COVID corporate excess, combined with the secular remote working trends that just got supercharged during COVID, could result in a slow unwind in demand that will lead to landlord pressures. These pressures will collide with a pickup in loan maturities from pre-COVID 2 to 3 year transitional floating rate loans, which were common in the office space, as well as legacy retail CMBS loans. Thus, we could expect and should expect a second wave of loan defaults and non-performing loan sales. While the stages of distress are the same as past cycles, the sources and the sectors of distress are markedly different. If we look at the global financial crisis, the distress centered around excesses in the residential space, including residential development, and it was banks who were active lenders in this space that were at the relative center of distress in the form of non-performing loans. This time, the residential sector is relatively balanced, due in part to improved regulation on banks. Instead, the distress this time will emanate from lending excesses in the corporate sector. We're already seeing the early overlap between corporate debt securities and commercial real estate as a wave of major retailer bankruptcies have already kicked off a wave of lease defaults. So what does this mean for investors? PIMCO sees an evolving and diverse array of opportunities emerging in the sector that in many situations will require a deeper connectivity to corporate credit. In stage 1, our focus has been primarily on CMBS and private loans that are dislocated in pricing, primarily due to the broader capital market liquidity-driven selling pressures. We're also seeing a variety of large corporates looking to raise capital by pledging owned property. In stage 2, the opportunity set will broaden and include opportunities like preferred equity recaps. But this stage will also include opportunities in the corporate space. Commercial real estate related examples include sale leasebacks and secured loans to corporate borrowers. Similarly, on top of discounted loan purchase opportunities emanating from over-leveraged lending platforms, we expect to see new loan origination opportunities emerge as transaction activity picks up with far less transitional lending platforms in existence. Finally, as we enter stage 3 in years 2 and 3, we expect to see distressed asset and loan acquisition opportunities emerge as tenant downsizings and defaults collide with loan maturities. Now, while complicated, these can become attractive opportunities for platforms with the expertise in CMBS structures, as well as the real estate side in terms of expertise on asset repositionings. The main takeaway is that while public markets have corrected to a degree, the pain is far from over, and it will play out over multiple stages in many different forms. PIMCO is prepared to help our clients navigate this environment, not only today, but over the coming months and years as the full cycle unfolds.